You're tuned in to Get Right Fantasy.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, friends? Daniel Dopp here from the Fantasy Focused Football Podcast over on ESPN.
It's Fab, so you're Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated.
You know who you can trust if you've got some questions about your fantasy squad?
Want to check out a cool show on YouTube that'll help you get ready for the fantasy football season?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Head on over to YouTube. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network because they're doing everything they can to make you a better fantasy player.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
You're tuned in to Get Right Fantasy.
What up? What up? What up, world? Welcome back to the Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm Mike Herrick, aka Classic Mike, and today is our Week 11 Active and Inactive Sunday show. Today, I got my special guest sitting with me over here, Evan Sather. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Am I much of a guest at this point? Because I mean, it's good to be a part of the team, Mike. I'm glad you guys picked. Yeah, glad you guys scooped me up off of waivers.
Oh yeah, no, Evan's here for good. I just it's just how I say it. I'm sorry. That's not anything more than me. Today we're going to be going over some news and notes since our Friday show. We're also going to be going over actives and inactives at around 11:30. I actually have an active that we're going to give you right away, so don't you worry. As well as answering your last second start sit questions. So make sure you guys throw those questions in the chat. Like I say all the time, make sure you guys are using the league and, the league types, the 12-team, 10-team formats, full, half, tight end premium, all those things, just so that we have a better idea of what you guys are looking for. And we will get to your questions shortly. If you want your questions answered right away, make sure you guys use that super chat. Always appreciate the help there as well. One of the big news is Keon Coleman is going to be inactive today. He's going to be a healthy scratch. This is kind of crazy, little crazy for me. I was really high on Keon Coleman coming in. Second year bump. I thought this would be a really helpful thing for him. But it's a little weird that he's not, he's starting to get this particular situation. So how do you feel about the healthy benching, if you will?
So I'm not a Bills fan, so I don't have the insider information the way that Bills fans do. But what I've been reading about Keon Coleman is that it's allegedly not performance-based, but the team also wants to see him improve in other areas. So is it an attitude issue? Did he piss off Sean McDermott and his wife? Or what are we looking at here with Keon Coleman? But I don't buy that this is not a performance-based issue because against the Dolphins, he went 3 for 8. He happened to catch a touchdown, but I don't think he's playing as well as the team is expecting him, which I don't know if it's entirely fair because Keon Coleman had a major wrist injury in his rookie year that took him a while to get going. And remember, Keon Coleman is only 22 years old. He entered the league at age 21. I'm not ready to give up on Keon Coleman at long term, but Keon Coleman is also a guy that you don't necessarily need to view as anything more than a bench clogger in your redraft leagues. So he's not a guy that you're going to be looking to flex anytime soon anyway, but I don't think we have much to worry about. There's no panic button to hit with Keon Coleman.
Yeah, fair enough. I was really high on him in the redraft process. Thought he can use his, the new sophomore year 2 wide receiver thing, but unfortunately it just hasn't been working out with.
Can we put up Victorious's comment too? Because that's a really good point. Keon Coleman did have a hard time getting open in college at Florida State. That's not the end of the world for a guy like him either, because that's what developing in the NFL is for. Yeah.
He was a contested catch guy and a lot more of a go up and get it type guy for a while. So he's got to learn little nuances, and that's part of being in the NFL. You're no longer playing in college, and I think it takes a few people, it takes a few people to get used to that. So it's going to take some time. Right now, we're at halftime of the Madrid game with the Dolphins and the Commanders. It's 6-6 currently. Big kick fest, a lot between the 20s, but nothing going through the end zone at the moment. So a bunch of guys that we are going to run through are guys that we talked about the other day. Calvin Ridley, he's expected to play with his hamstring injury. Drake London, he has an illness and back injury. He's questionable, but he should and expected to play as per Ian Rappaport. Devontae Adams, he was dealing with like an oblique injury. He's expected to play versus Seattle today. Bam Knight listed as questionable. He's good to go. He's expected to play. The only guy, Quentin Johnston, dealing with a shin injury and a full participant Friday. He's good to go and is expected to play. The only guy that is on the list that is not expected to play is Brian Thomas Jr. So wait until 11:30 with us. We will let you know who is in and who is out. So let us know. Just some little weather news just for people. I mean, it's that time of year again. So weather is a little bit more involved. High winds in Buffalo. No real flurries. They said that there was going to be some type of thing. I'm not too worried about it. Josh Allen can throw through, so can Baker. I'm not really too stressed. Just like letting you be aware for those that like kickers and all that stuff. It's just good to know. Cleveland as well is going to be a little bit windy. There are a couple other games that are going to be windy, but not as bad as those two. So just keep those things in mind. We got Ray W. starting us off, one of my Giants fans. Really happy to have him here today. As always, he says, pick two, Rome, Marks, Harvey, or Wandell. Full PPR. I think we can both agree Rome is number one. Now it's between Marks, Harvey, and Wandell. How you in this? Yeah.
That's a really good question. RJ Harvey is finally going to have an opportunity to be the RB1 in this offense, but J.K. Dobbins expected to miss the rest of the season. And he was even J.K. Dobbins was even thankful to the fans and that God has a plan for him and all that, which means that, he's expected to not play anymore the rest of the season. He was doing a really well in a prove it year, by the way. But
100%.
That being said, Woody Marks is going up against a really weak Tennessee Titans run defense. Not the worst in the league, but also really, really weak. And you better start Rome Odunze against a secondary in Minnesota that's really bad. Yeah. Other than that, Wandale, I think you can bench.
I agree.
It's really close though between Woody and Wandale because the Green Bay Packers secondary also sucks. I don't want to hear it from Packer fans. Your secondary is awful. It's very beatable, and you can definitely expect Wandale to get the big targets from Jameis Winston today. So, without stalling too much longer, I think we're gonna go Roman Marks here. I think Harvey needs to show me more, and Harvey's also going up against the Chiefs, which is gonna be brutal for him. And Wandale, Wandale has yet to have more than 2 games where he reaches 20 fantasy points. That's been the problem with most of his targets is that he gets a lot of volume, but he doesn't go anywhere with it. He's a possession guy, right?
Yeah, his yak yardage is tough. He's more definitely a possession guy. Believe me, I'm in the process of dealing with Wandale as a question. I'll ask you mine after I'm done with Ray here, but Rome is the lock for me. I think I have to agree with Woody Marks in the particular matchup. Do I like him more than Harvey? No, I love Harvey. I think Harvey's in a good spot, but like Evan said, this is a really tough matchup for his first start. Will he be involved in the passing game? Yes, because it's going to be that type of narrative at this point. They're favored by 4.5 at this point. It's only gone up since its opening on Tuesday, Wednesday. I feel Marks is a better scenario overall. Houston's favored by 5.5. That's actually gone down, believe it or not. And on top of that, it's 37.5 on the point total. That's the only thing that scares me with that game, but I'd rather have the better outcome because it's going to be mostly Texans for that game.
I think the odds went down a bit for Houston because the bettors realized that Davis Mills was starting again.
Yeah, well, And that's the thing. That doesn't make any sense to me because he's
Davis Mills is a fine backup.
That's what I said. I think he's one of the better backups in the league, so it doesn't make any sense that they would bring it down, but it is what it is.
Yeah, sure. He was a little rusty against Denver when he had to step in when Stroud had that unfortunate headbang that gave him the concussion. But against Jacksonville, he looked like a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, he looked great. So I'm going to go Roman Marks here for you guys. Marcos, what's going on, man? Bonus Diaz, what's going on? Great to have you here today there, Marcos. Here's my question. I have a Wandell question because I have a Wandell start sit question. Wandell or Ken Walker?
I'm going to go Wandale here.
And it's half PPR.
Wandale.
Yeah.
I don't care. Ken Walker doesn't catch that many passes. What do I care?
I know. No, you're right. And that's I've been milling this in my head forever. And I'm going to go Wandell. It's just, I know that what's going to happen. He's going to have like a 20-point game and it's going to, Kenny is going to have a good, 20-point game. Anyway, Flacco or Dak for Marcos? Who do we got for today?
I am always a stand for Dak Prescott going up against a really weak Raiders defense. I know we were just talking on Friday about how the front for the Raiders actually is really good at trying to stuff the run and getting pressure on the quarterback. But like I said on Friday, Max Crosby is the one that's making that defensive front look better than they actually are, which opens up other opportunities for the rest of their defensive front to try and get to the quarterback. Now, that being said, I don't think that's enough to make me steer away from Dak Prescott, but Flacco is going up against a Steelers defense that is Jekyll and Hyde. They might feel like playing good defense, but this is also an AFC North rivalry game. I think the Steelers are going to win this game, and I think they're going to give Flacco a tough time.
Oh, Debo with a big touchdown. That was he Debo'd his way through the end zone there.
For those of you tuned in on Friday when I was recommending Debo, you're welcome.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I like it. All right, so you're gonna go Dak. I'm feeling the same way against in this particular case. Both are facing really good defensive fronts this week. It's one of the, and you're right, Jekyll and Hyde, but with two really good pass rushers with TJ Watt and Hyde Smith are, just really great on the outside. They've been getting Herberg in as well. Alec Herberg. He's been doing fantastic on the outside as well. So I'm pretty good with Dak in this matchup. I understand Flacco. He's got the weapons, so on and so forth. And they have a pretty bad secondary overall, but they have improved it with Kyle Duggar, and they've been trying their best to improve in the secondary. The Raiders secondary is horrible. I'm going to go Dak. Marcos goes, which Denver running back would you start besides RJ Harvey? None.
None.
That's
they
too
suck.
Easy. Yeah, Beatty isn't anything that's going to really make you happy. I mean, Beatty he might get a possession here and there. He might be involved, but based on what we've seen with JK and Harvey, you can assume that Harvey is getting Dobbins's now backfield, and it should be anywhere between 50 to 70% of the snaps. Even if Beatty gets 50, it's not going to be as what you would think it would be. This is a really tough matchup against Kansas City. Kansas City is one of the better teams against the run in general.
If anything, Beatty and McLaughlin are going to be splitting change of pace carries. Yeah. Beatty's probably going to get a little more than McLaughlin. Yeah, Jaleel McLaughlin he got promoted to the active roster.
Yeah,
he's no longer a healthy scratch. McLaughlin sucks. Beatty, I don't like to say Beatty sucks, it's not Beatty. Excuse me, it's Tyler Bidet.
Bidet, got it.
Bidet is also nothing special. He's not going to get much in the way of volume. So, yeah, if you have to start anybody else from that Denver backfield, you're in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. And Kansas City, 12th against the run so far this year. They can be beat, but not as good as some other people. So.
I also have a little bit of minor news that has nothing to do with players that are playing or not. ESPN Sal Palantonio added to John Clark's report that A.J. Brown promised the Eagles owner Jeff Lurie that he would stay off of social media with his frustrations.
As he
We'll
should.
see how far that promise goes.
Yeah. I mean, Honestly, today is going to be an odd scenario. Like, I do expect him to, the squeaky wheel type narrative. So I'm definitely going to play him if I have him. I'd play him in DFS a lot, but I would, I'd be a little bit wary of it.
That
Just
is a
keep that
Lions
open.
secondary that's really
Beat
beatable
up.
too. They don't suck like they did last year, but they're also not that good at defending the pass.
No, I think that game's going to be a fun shootout. I'm excited for Sunday Night Football this week. Warrior Loft, what's going on, brother? Another Giants fan in here today helping me out. He goes, would you guys straight up trade Kyron Williams for my number one wide receiver, Rice and Kamara? This would solidify my wide receiver position, but weaken my flex a bit. He already has CMC, Jacobs, and Henderson. His wide receivers are JJ, Debo, and Troy Franklin.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it, but yeah, you are going to lose a huge piece of your offense. And the only thing that I'm a little nervous about is Henderson, hoping and praying that at this point that he continues on with, playing well with Robinson, with Stevenson maybe coming back soon. That's my only worry about it. CMC and Jacobs, you're fine with. But yeah, getting Rice, I think, is a real big boost to your secondary for sure.
I know that we're all acting like Alvin Kamara's washed up and he sucks now, and that's a horrible running back to get back. But the problem is that Kellen Moore down in New Orleans is not throwing him the ball as much as he should be receiving. Like, that's the problem. He's not calling enough plays to get Tyler Shook to throw the ball to Alvin Kamara more than 3 times a game. That's just not enough for a guy like Alvin Kamara, who's a great pass catcher. So I don't know what Kellen Moore's doing down there, but it's not good. And Alvin Kamara's not good like he was 8 years ago, 100%. But at the same time, he's still okay. Like, he's good enough for RB2 value.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's hard to watch sometimes, but sometimes you gotta deal with it. And he's still a solid player. Their line is just dog shit, and it makes it hard for him to get open. They used to have a decent line. So that's been a huge, huge part of it. I talk about the offensive line about 90% of the time because of how absolutely necessary those lines are to make these guys as good as they are. So Marcos goes Jacoby Myers or DJ Moore.
By the way, is it Marco or Marcos? Because I'm trying to decide if it's Cipra with an S or a C. Maybe
it's probably Marcos or Marcos Socorro. Yeah, I always say Marcos because my brain. Anyway, Jacoby Myers or DJ Moore.
I think I'll go Jacoby Myers here. It's close, but I think I'd go Jacoby Myers because DJ Moore's in a crowded wide receiver room, having to share with Romo Dunze, Luther Burden, Cole Kmet, and Colston Loveland. So there's a lot of hungry mouths to feed in Chicago. Meanwhile, nobody in Jacksonville can catch except for Jacoby Myers, so you can fire him up safely.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that we're really looking at right now, and the one thing I'm waiting for is for the actives and inactives and seeing if they actually activate Brenton Strange today. I don't think they did, but I could be wrong here. He could be involved, which is a little bit different. Parker Washington being involved. I just can't. It's so hard. I pulled DJ Moore from about 80% of my lineups because of what happened last week and how everything has been with him. Not, he had 4 targets, 0 catches last week. It was just hard to watch, to be quite honest. Jacoby Myers is probably the better option here. So I'm going to be going Jacoby Myers as well. It hurts my soul because I really was looking forward to DJ Moore doing well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fergie or Gatson?
Fergie.
Yeah. I'm going to go Gatson just to be contrarian here. I like the matchup today against Jacksonville. Something about it just screams to me, and he's been doing well. Fergie's a safer bet, better floor, higher floor overall, but Gatson has the higher ceiling. If you're in a situation where you just faced Henderson and you are, you need a little bit of a bump, I'd go Gadsden. But if you're the one that played Hendy, I would play Ferguson.
Yeah, it's just the Cowboys have less target competition for Ferguson versus Gadsden, who has a good array of wide receivers to compete for targets with. And don't get me wrong, Gadsden's not going to put up a donut, but I think you can trust Ferguson a little better, being that Dak likes him a lot more.
Yeah, no, fair enough, and that's a great point. And the other way I'm viewing it, Dallas is going to. I think the narrative for that Dallas game is that they're going to be up, and then it gets to a point where what's the point for throwing? At least with the game, the Chargers and Jags, I think it's going to be a little closer than people might think it might be, which will keep him a little bit more involved, in my opinion. But
I could be wrong. I got a little feeling here that this Raiders-Cowboys game is going to be closer than we want, because I bet the Cowboys are going to play down to the Raiders today.
Well, and you want to know, I was talking about that with my buddy the other night. I'm like, they played Arizona, they sucked. And you just looked at it and you're like, wait, why? They should be winning this game. And it's been one of those scenarios. Yeah, they play down to their competition, play up to their competition when needed. It's very strange to see. So, yeah, I mean, those are the two views. Pick which, one you like better. But yeah, both are very. It's good to have. It's good to have good options.
Yeah, that's another reason I picked Fergie.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, sorry, Warrior Love, but hold on to Harrison. By the way, hold him in an IR slot. He should be back for the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that's what he was saying. He was just adding that he had that wide receiver in that group, so at least it makes his wide receiver group better, and then later down the line, his flex spot could be pretty good.
Nobody's saying MHJ is going to be a league winner, but in your case, he could help you out.
Warrior says, great call on Debo, guys. He started him. There you go. Love hearing that. Love hearing that. So we got Raven. What's going on, man? He goes, I'm back with more tight end options. Sad faces. Top of the morning, fellas.
Are those actually sad faces? Because I know the younger generation uses that for laughing, and it's really weird.
Oh, that is weird. That looks like crying to me.
It is crying, but I know that younger people use that as laughing these days, and it's really weird.
Damn young people.
I know, right?
Grow up. I'm just
use the right emojis.
Yeah. Christ. Full PPR and a 0.75 tight end premium. Star one, Evan Ingram, Chig, Brock, or Elijah Higgins. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with Elijah Higgins.
I don't think Elijah Higgins, he's going to have a hard time competing with Trey McBride, though. And that's the thing, is that if Higgins happens to fall in the end zone, yeah, you're thrilled. But I'm looking for safer volume here, and Brock Wright ain't it. Evan Ingram is probably the safest floor, despite the fact that Sean Payton is not doing a good job with this offense whatsoever. And Okonkwo is almost nothing in this offense, where he can get 6 targets one week and then 2 in another. I don't want to start Okonkwo ever if I can help it. So I think out of these options, I hate to say it, but I think you have to start Evan Ingram here.
Yeah, for me, Elijah Higgins is just, like you said, yes, Trey McBride is going to be the central point of this offense. I don't disagree with that point. Michael Wilson is the only other guy on the field, as well as Greg Dortch. They use Elijah Higgins more as a wide receiver anyway. So in this case, he's just a big slot receiver. I like that in this offense. I like what they're going to have to do against the 49ers. 49ers, after losing Fred Warner, are not the same in coverage. And especially in the middle of the field, Winters is a downhill run stopping type of linebacker. So is I can never say his name right. Number 47. I always get his God, I'm gonna butcher his name. Anyway, their other linebacker, their rookie linebacker.
Yeah,
they're not cover guys. These guys are run stoppers that stay downhill and always are good against the run. They can't stop the wide receiver, and in this case, the tight end. And on top of that, their safeties aren't built like Higgins. He's going to box out and be a bigger receiver. I like his ability down the field. They've been getting him involved. Yes, his floor is low. 3 targets, are average so far this year. But with Harrison out, that does leave more room for improvement, because they were targeting him at least 6 to 8 times a game. It just gives me a little bit more hope comparatively to Evan Ingram, that I just don't trust. He's egged you a few times, and it's upsetting. I love Evan Ingram. He is my spirit animal. I have a photo with him somewhere in my thing. I met him at MetLife Stadium when he was a Giant. I love the guy, but it's hard for me to pick him when he's not utilized the way that we thought he would be.
Yeah, but the arguments you're making for Higgins are also the same you could make for Ingram because he's the same size.
Fair enough.
Higgins weighs 5 more pounds, but Evan Ingram is also the starting tight end in the Broncos offense where, yeah, he's not an exciting option, but we're looking at I blame Perks tight end room here, and no disrespect, my man, but it sucks. It's not, you have to pick the best one out of the bunch that has the safer floor in this case because you can't bank. I got a feeling that it's going to be the Michael Wilson show because he's already been getting more volume than Higgins anyway. I don't think Higgins is going to get more volume as a result of no MHJ, and you can forget about Brock Wright and Chigo Okonkwo because they're not even a big enough part of the offense to matter.
I'm not worried about those two. It's really between Ingram and Higgins.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that so much to you. I'm just saying out so much to the world that we're broadcasting this.
No, I understand. I don't know. It's just a feeling. Mine's more of a gut feeling than anything. I just, I don't know. Just believe it. Looks like Commanders got a good 4th down stop on the goal line. So now they're trying to run it out of their particular 5-yard line. So that's
why are the Dolphins going for it on 4th down?
No idea. I'm assuming because at this point they're down, they need to go for it, and now they just got an offensive false start, so now they're going to be back to like the 1.
I have more news on Keon Coleman. Ian Rappaport a minute ago just reported that this is the 3rd known disciplinary issue for Keon Coleman. He was benched against the drive against the Patriots this year and benched in the first quarter against the Jaguars. Now he's not playing at all against the Buccaneers today. Keon Coleman apparently is causing some problems back there. I don't have any more details than that, but that's a really bad sign that he may not last long on this Bills team if he can't shape up. So I don't have more details than that, but yikes.
Sad day.
Mm-hmm.
Ori goes, would you give a strong flex position for a strong wide receiver position?
Are you talking about the trade you mentioned earlier, Warrior Loft? Because I think we did answer that.
No,
he
did.
And yeah, 100% we trust Rice more than Kyren Williams. I'm speaking for you too, Mike.
Yeah, no, I like both. I have both on one of my teams. So it's not like I don't trust these guys at all. I think Rice is just more manageable and he's going to be more consistent. We've seen what he can do in this offense. He is their particular centerpiece.
I know what happened with Keon Coleman. He missed a team meeting Friday morning.
There you go. Well, then I just saw that it was like a disciplinary reason. They didn't give full reasons, but I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Sean McDermott doesn't play around with that shit.
No good coach would.
No, exactly. And I like Sean McDermott for the most part. I understand he's a little quirky, but he's a pretty good coach overall. Do you trust Rice more than? Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah,
a little bit.
So, I like Kyren. He's just a solid for me. He's only currently like on RB2, like high end RB2, and that's less reliable to me than somebody that's a consistent wide receiver 1. So I'm gonna go with that. He goes, I feel like wide receiver are more of a miss than running backs. However, Kyren does split opportunities with Blake.
That's not entirely true.
Yeah, it's more like a 70-30 split. It always happens when you don't want it to.
Blake Corum does not have enough standalone value to matter in fantasy football. No. I don't understand why people were adding Blake Corum left and right because he doesn't offer enough standalone value to matter in this game, and he's not replacing Kyren. So I don't know where that hype came from.
I think it has you look at his particular numbers and stuff when he's out on the field. So I was looking the other day at it, and he seems more in than people actually give him credit for. He's the most he's been in this year is 40%. And even then it wasn't that much. And that was last week. Ever since then, he's been in the low 20s and the high teens. He doesn't play as often. And on top of that, he's really only involved to give Kyren a breather, or if they're down or something like that. They don't really trot him out there a lot. Kyren is their guy, and they like him a lot.
Yeah, and the Rams changed the way they run their offense. They now have
100%.
a 2-back system that helps move the football a little better so that Puka and Devontae don't have to keep catching every single thing out there, and it's working for them. They're winning games.
Yeah.
They're not a great team anymore. They're still a good team. But they also don't have a tight end that's dependable either, because Tyler Higbee isn't that good anymore, and they don't have another tight end who can get the job done.
Well,
in the passing game.
Ferguson has been a little bit more involved. Davis Allen is not horrible. They're not anything special. They're tight end threes. They're not anything crazy, but they are formidable. They are guys that they rely on in certain situations when teams want to double Puka. Boom, little dump out, and Stafford's smart enough to see it and smart enough to know what to do. That's
the Rams have a crazy good 4 tight end committee approach out there, where they've got they got a bunch of guys that they can stick in there for 30 to 50% of the snaps, and then Colby Parkinson happened to win the touchdown roulette.
I was gonna say that Parkinson's good too. They all play a part in the system. I remember when they what was it this week or what was it? Oh my God. Mariota, that should be grounding, and now he's hurt. Oh my God,
he's hurt.
I'm watching the game. No, he drops back. He's in the end zone. He gets thrown around by, it looks like Chop Robinson was trying to get him, and as he's trying to get him, he just freaking tosses it out of bounds and not anywhere near the line of scrimmage. He just throws it out as he's falling to the ground. I don't know if it was Oh, he definitely landed weird, but he's fine. But
okay.
Oh man.
Because if he's not fine, it would be the Josh Johnson show out there, the 39-year-old quarterback out of the University of San Diego.
I like Josh Johnson, man. He's always out there at one point. But yeah, no, it 3rd and 15 right now. We're getting a lot of actives and inactives rolling through, so I'm going to give you guys those as we speak. Looks like Kendra Lambert Smith is going to be a healthy scratch today. He's been pretty good as of late. Samaje Perine is going to be inactive, as well as Trey Hendrickson. Bucky and Godwin we already knew about. Calvin Ridley is active, so Calvin Ridley will start. Jeffrey Simmons is active today. I might have to go back to the Woody Marks conversation. Jeffrey Simmons is one of the best D tackles in the league. Okay. Truly is. He is playing today. He has not played the last 3 weeks that they have been getting their ass whooped.
I like Simmons too, but he's no Max Crosby. I mean, he's not going to be a one-man wrecking crew out there the way TJ Watt is too.
No, fair point, but he's a big integral part of why they were decent prior to him being out. He is just he's a solid D tackle and probably one of my favorites to watch here and there, other than, of course, my sexy Dexy. Let me see. Brian Thomas Jr., we have confirmed, is inactive today. Looks like TJ Edwards is going to be out for you guys and Jalen Jones, and that's not good because you're already down with Jalen Johnson as well.
Yes, we are. Matthew Golden is active today, along with Drake London and, we already said Calvin Ridley, but Matthew Golden, I'm not sure if it matters that he's active because they've barely been getting him the ball as it is. He's basically a Christian Watson replacement, and even then, with Christian Watson out there, he's still getting more volume than Golden. So I don't know what the Packers are doing with their wide receiver room, but it's weird.
So I'm wrong. It looks like Mariota's down, and it looks like Josh Johnson has entered the game.
Ooh, Josh Johnson time!
Should be fun. It looks like Drake London is active today. For those that are looking for Drake London,
I said that too.
Playing. He's good. Oh, you did? My bad. Brandon McManus is out today for the Packers. That's kind of big for those kicker guys.
He sucks.
He's
a sex pest. He's creepy.
Oh, that too. But my whole thing, he's just got a big leg. I've always been a fan of him in general. He was a good kicker back when he was good in Denver. So it's hard to see guys fall from grace. In my scenario, kickers are my thing.
Him and Justin Tucker, they can fall from grace as far as they want.
Tucker can fall off the table. Let me see. Leonard Floyd.
Did you mention Quentin Johnston?
No, I did not get him yet.
Also active.
Right? Yep.
Which is also another reason I don't want to play Gadsden over Jake Ferguson.
Yeah. 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 I get that. When he's involved, I get it. Yep. I think that looks like, yeah, wait, Bills are coming in with theirs, which we already knew about. Keon Coleman, so is Elijah Moore. He's out. Shaq Thompson's going to be out. Dalton Kincaid's going to be out. Oof. It looks like Gabe Davis is active today with Mecole Hardman. That should be interesting to see how that goes.
Both will probably get like 3 targets among like everybody else.
Yeah, I mean they're basically benching a younger Gabe Davis, if that makes sense. But I mean, he has a good rapport with Allen, so this should be an interesting game to watch, quite frankly. So let's go to Warrior.
So, to clarify what I said, Warrior Loft. So, Oronde Gadsden. Sorry, that what?
No, I just wanted to make sure Frank is aware. Just talking about it.
Yeah, so just to reiterate on what I was talking about earlier, Oronde Gadsden is a guy that the Chargers do want to get the ball in his hands, but he also has to compete with Quentin Johnston, Ladd McConkey, and Keenan Allen, and then they have their running backs their running backs don't catch a lot of passes either, but that's a lot of wide receivers to have to share with in that offense where, they play the Jacksonville Jaguars, who can't really stop a stop sign, but you also have Jake Ferguson, who is a solid target for Dak Prescott. He's been a lot more consistent with the volume that Dak likes to feed him. So over the last several weeks, his floor is easily 7 targets. I mean, excluding that weird Denver game where he only got 1, but we don't worry too hard about it. And don't worry about that fumble he gave up against the Arizona Cardinals, too. The Cowboys had their bye week. They're all rested up. They're ready to beat up on a bad Raider team. Ferguson is much more involved in this offense than Oronde Gadsden in the meantime. Gadsden is definitely the future for the Chargers, but this year is not the year to expect him to be consistent the way Fergie is.
I'm going to have to defer. Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things, the more I keep thinking about it, the only thing that bothers me with it is Devin White is a pretty good cover guy.
He's better for tackles and you're like you said, covers, but I mean, he's making a play is a different story, and he has not made a lot of plays like fumble recoveries or interceptions and things like that.
No, he's just a solid. I'm just saying he's a solid linebacker that can disrupt things a little bit.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that he will affect it, but he is a variable that I think about in this particular scenario. The other scenario with Gadsden, I mean, yeah, he's going against Fluakon and Devin Lloyd, who are both very good as well. But I'm gonna switch my answer to Jake because I agree. The more I keep thinking about it, the more I keep understanding it. I think it's probably the better play. I have to play Gadsden in a few situations, probably why I am viewing it in that particular situation. So Frank Nunez, what's going on, man? He goes, what's cracking? One running back, one flex. So we got Chase Brown, Woody, Harvey, Flowers, JMO, half PPR.
Woody and then Flowers.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna have to go Woody for the running back. I might go Chase. I think I might go Chase Brown here.
Are you a Flowers hater? Do you hate botany?
I'm not a big botany guy. I'm not a fan of Flowers. I just his usage to me is just and they focus on running the ball a lot more. They are just a very heavy run guy. Half PPR, I always tend to lean a little bit more towards to running backs. And in this case, I like the matchup for Chase Brown, who did pretty well against them last time with Flacco involved. I think Flacco is a huge reason why he's been playing very well the last few weeks because it just takes a ton of pressure off of him. Mariota looks like he's coming out of the tent right now. Okay. No helmet, though.
So Chase Brown, what he's benefited from is going up against a weak Jets run defense where he happened to fall in the end zone and he caught a touchdown pass. And then against my Bears in week 9, he caught 8 of 14 targets. And in PPR leagues, you're thrilled with that. Yeah. So that's where Chase Brown was seeing his volume, because otherwise he has not gotten many carries on the ground this year. They are not trusting him anymore because he's been so bad.
No,
but Zay Flowers has at least been giving you double-digit fantasy points in PPR leagues for the 3 straight weeks against the Bears, Dolphins, and Vikings. Now, the Browns are going to be a tougher matchup because their secondary is really good, but I still think he's the top target in that Ravens offense, and therefore, that's why you can make a safe case to flex him. He's got a safe floor.
No, you're right. I always try to lean towards the running back in half PPR just because of they're more guaranteed a touch. I'm not sure of how it's going to work out for Flowers if they are consistently taking Lamar off his spot, which they did the last game with the pass rush, and Lamar had a really rough game versus them the last time. I get a little nervous about trying to play a wide receiver in that group. I like Chase Brown and what they've been trying to do. I'm going to lean Chase Brown and Woody at this point. Just good matchups overall. I like the situation a little better. JMO, I don't mind either, but JMO's kind of low on the ranking list because I don't unless we know for a fact that Dan Campbell is calling the plays.
Brock Wright is gonna steal JMO's touchdown.
I know, right?
You watch, it's gonna happen.
I know it's gonna happen. I might even put an anytime touchdown on that at one point. Thomas D, what's going on, man? He goes, what up, guys? He goes, is there a world where you consider flexing Harvey over Rome? No.
Not this week.
No.
Not this week. Harvey has to go up against a tough Chiefs defense. Ain't no way I'm trusting that against a really tough AFC West rivalry. Rome Odunze is a guy that you gotta start today against a really weak Vikings secondary. So go ahead, fire up Rome this week. We can talk about Harvey versus Rome in other weeks later on this season.
Yeah, I have to agree. Rome is just he's somebody that I can't not play. We have a bye next week, and then they play the Commanders and Raiders. That's when you load up Harvey.
Ooh, that's going to be really good for Harvey.
Yeah, that's going to be very good for Harvey. Then he gets Jacksonville 2 weeks after that in week 16. 15 is going to be a little bit rough against the Packers, but I'd wait until after the bye. I understand that he's involved in the passing game. He's saying Harvey probably sees more touches than Rome, more effective. I get your point, but Rome,
that doesn't mean he's going to be more effective in fantasy points in the end. Volume doesn't necessarily equate fantasy points, which is why I was talking about Blake Corum earlier today and why I didn't understand the hype. It's like, sure, he's getting sloppy seconds behind Kyron, but that doesn't translate to anything. Not unless he falls in the end zone. He's not the top running back. Now, Harvey's now the top running back, but against a tough Chiefs defense, I ain't trusted that over what Rome Odunze is expected to get against a weak Vikings secondary.
Yeah, I mean, they've been weaker. I mean, they're currently 6th overall in DVOA against wide receivers and right now in the league. So I understand where he's coming from, but the matchup is a lot worse for Harvey. They have to get there first.
They have to get there first. Exactly.
And that's the problem. The Chiefs defense is actually one of the better defenses in the league, especially their front seven are very good. Their secondary is, I'm not going to say they're horrible, but they are good. They are a good match to their line. The line is too quick to get to the quarterback, which makes their corners effective. McDuffie is one of the better in the league, and Bolton has been, real good this season.
The Broncos offense sucks too. I don't like it at all.
Yeah. So it's really tough, but I'm still wrong. It's going to be Rome, especially in a flex position.
Sure. The Broncos are 8-2 right now, but I mean, their defense is also what's saving them. Yeah. And they only beat the Raiders 10-7, which is awfully alarming. They should have freaking trounced the Raiders, and they didn't, which is also why I'm thinking the Cowboys are definitely going to play down to the Raiders today.
Yeah, I agree. Patrick Lario, what's going on, brother? He goes, yo, go Big Blue. So Trey Tucker, Chubb or Gainwell today? And we'll get to the defensive. Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, good Lord, man. I don't want to play Trey Tucker under any circumstances, but I think you might have to play him over both Chubb and Gainwell because Chubb, unfortunately, his best days are behind him, and unfortunately, Gainwell is not used enough in this offense to make it worth starting. I don't know where you're trying to start him, Patrick, if it's a flex spot, but that's what I'm guessing, being that you asked about a wide receiver too. So yeah, go ahead and fire up Trey Tucker in this case, and I would rather play the Bears defense over the Jaguars defense today.
I will. I'm gonna go Trey Tucker regardless. My only caveat for the Jags defense: the Chargers offensive line is incredibly beat up right now, like very beat up on the outside, especially. Walker and Allen are very good pass rushers, and they can get to the quarterback, and they might, it's the only downside to today's matchup for me. The point total for the Bears and Vikings are one of those scenarios where one, division rivals, two, the over-under is 48 points. The Vikings are favored in this particular matchup. I don't like playing defenses in those particular scenarios. I rather have the lower point total at 43. It's not a lot more, but it's 43 and a half. And at this point, the Chargers are favored by 3, which is roughly the same.
I don't know what they're thinking out there. We're acting like the Chargers suck when they don't. I don't think that's enough to convince me either way, because the Jaguars they've only given up less than 20 points against the Panthers and the Houston Texans, and that was weeks 1 and 3. They've been giving up more than 20 points on the board every single week ever since week 3, and I don't think that changes with the Chargers. The Chargers are gonna beat them up today.
No, I that's my hope. I mean, I have a lot of Chargers in my lineup. It's hard for me not to play a team like that. I hate playing division matchups, but sometimes they can be lower scoring. So that's the only caveat to that. They are losing 3 of their corner. They have 3 of their corners that are going to be out. They're going to have no TJ Edmonds, who has been playing very well in the secondary or in the linebacking core. So I'm just a little nervous about that. The Jaguars are a little bit more healthy, if you will.
Yeah, fair.
Healthy, but
healthy-ish.
They're healthier on the defensive side of the ball than the offensive. So for me, I like the pass rush here. I like the guys that they have on the outside that can get to the quarterback. So I'm just a little bit more favorable in that matchup. So that's the only reason why I'm leaning that way. But I understand the Bears argument as well. I'm just more on board with that. So yeah, good luck, Patrick. We got Rasta in the house. What's going on? Oh my God.
What's up, Rasta?
Oh man. Ashan just hits a wall. He runs at full speed and just gets stopped right on the 1.
I can't believe the Commanders are playing this much better.
Yeah. Well, they're a good defense. They're just a bad offense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh man. Bobby Wagner just stood up Ashan. Oh, man.
That's a veteran move, too, man.
Oh, dude. He just put him straight up on his ass.
Anyway, Rasta, let's go with Pearsall.
Yeah, we're going to go Pearsall either way. I like Pearsall today. Dobbs is a very close second.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time deciding Dobbs, too, because, sure, he can get 10 targets against the Panthers and then only 4 against the Eagles, and he's going up against a Giants secondary that doesn't really have anybody anymore. Tyler Nubin isn't playing today. Who do the Giants have left, Mike?
Nobody.
Exactly. So I don't know if that necessarily means we're going to watch Romeo Dobbs. I wish his name was Dupes. Dupes sounds so much better.
Right.
But Jaden Reed is not ready to come back either. So, no. I mean, that could spell something good for Dobbs, but I just don't want to trust Dobbs and Xavier Worthy over Pearsall. At least with Xavier Worthy, you're not going to take a 0, but it's not going to be exciting fantasy points. I'd rather take a shot on Pearsall at this point because he's facing an Arizona Cardinal secondary that sucks.
Well, they're going to suck today because they're going to be losing out on Will Johnson, who ain't going to be there. And that's
they're going to suck today because of Will Johnson. Hey, that's what she said.
I'm telling you, man, that's a big part of it. I like Dobbs. I think Dobbs is a safer floor than Pearsall. I think Pearsall is a higher ceiling, of course. When me and Rossi used to do this all the time. Exactly. And Ross is a big 49ers fan. So for him to be questioning this and, wanting to have Dobbs in there over that, I get it. I like Dobbs a little bit better, but that's just because I'm more conservative. I rather have the safe floor than the guy that I have no idea what his floor could be.
Dobbs is not exactly a safe floor either, though.
Well, understood, but he's safer than Pearsall because
for now, yeah.
They're getting him involved. It's a Giants defense that doesn't have a secondary currently, and they are basically playing with, third, fourth string guys, and Kayvon Thibodeau is going to be out today. Carter hasn't been doing anything on the outside the whole time. It's really just been Brian Burns just trying to get in there. So their offensive or their defensive line has not looked good. Winston could increase everybody, but hype wise, but that's about it.
Can I make one more counter argument?
Sure.
Ricky Pearsall faced the Cardinals in week 3 and went 8 for 11 for 117. If he can do that kind of damage again against the Cardinals, I think it's going to happen.
No, I agreed. Like I said, higher ceiling for me. It's based on what he's looking for at this point. It's a chop league for him. So
I don't know what that means. I've never played in a chop league.
So chop league, you need to outscore certain players, and then if your team's in last, then they have your whole team gets chopped.
Oh, a guillotine league?
Something like that.
But it's not a guillotine league.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a little different. It's hard to explain. I'm gonna go Pearsall, and it's really just because of the league.
Let's do Ricky Pearsall this week. Yeah.
I have Ricky in everywhere, so anywhere that I have him. Frank Nunez goes, how do you guys feel about Junkins this week?
Junkins. Junkins, fine. He's fine against a tough Baltimore. Baltimore's defense isn't really that tough anymore, but the last time he faced them off of 27% of the snaps, he went 10 for 61. So if he can be efficient again, which he hasn't been for 4 straight games, he's an RB2. Everybody's saying he's an RB2, so you can fire him up as such, Frank.
Yeah, I agree. You can't not play him. He's definitely somebody worth playing this week. We got Thomas asking about full PPR, Swift or Junkins here. I'm tougher.
I am tempted to go Swift here, despite the fact that he will split with Kyle Monangai. And by the way, I did just trade away Kyle Monangai in my Dynasty League, which I'm not sure if I'm going to regret or not. But Kyle Monangai wasn't exactly drafted to take over a backfield permanently long term. He's a piece in the offense to split with another running back. So I think against a tough Minnesota run defense, I'm not sure I'm ready to trust Swift over Judkins. I think I'm going to go Judkins here.
Okay. I might actually lean Swift here. The only reason because they're actually not that great against the run currently. They're 21st against running backs and rushing yardage.
Yeah, and Greenard is not playing either.
That's a big part of it. So at this point, I'm gonna stick with Swift and what they've been doing with the run game currently. It's just safe. It's just a really good safe pick, and he's involved in the passing game more than Judkins is. So for me, I'm gonna go Swift.
And so. Thomas, I see your other comment here. If you really want to play Harvey over Rome, go right ahead and do that. We're just giving you the best opinion we can.
Yeah.
You guys are always welcome to do whatever you want if you don't necessarily like what we have to say, or maybe you just have some stigma for one guy that you really, really want to play. You guys, if you guys happen to do better with Harvey over Rome, for example, hey, good work. But we got to give you the best answers we can give based on what we know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and I tell people I try to tell people every week, you guys are the main decision makers on your rosters. I'm not going to tell you who you should play. I'm going to tell you what I would play in that scenario. And then you guys make that decision overall. We want to make sure, you guys get the best information from all points, and I hope we gave you that to make that decision. So I get it. And if we don't know things like the 4 points per plays for over 40. I mean, that's more Rome to me than Harvey, in my
I
opinion.
can't see Harvey doing that against the Chiefs defense today.
No, they're going to limit him a ton.
Yeah.
So it's just how it goes. Patrick, he goes, this is easy for me.
Stafford.
Lover. Yeah, it's Lover Stafford and it's Stafford.
And Seahawks defense. Play the Seahawks defense.
Yeah, I'm going to have to lean. Oh, I don't know about that. If it's the same league, I'm playing the Cowboys.
They're the best defense in the league for fantasy points. I don't see why you don't play the Seahawks, even against the Rams.
Because for me, whenever if I'm playing Stafford versus the Seahawks, what happens is it takes my 6 touchdowns, 6 points per touchdowns or 4 point per touchdown down to 2 or 3. So it doesn't work. It's ineffective. And in that context, I'd rather play the Cowboys defense if it's the same league. If it's a different league, then yes, for sure, the Seahawks are the better choice. But if it's the same league, I am not playing. Yeah, it's the same league. I am not playing. No.
I get it. I get it. It's perfectly good logic. You don't want to start your offensive players against your DST, but there are worlds in which it can work because the Seahawks will make their plays, but Stafford is also still going to do damage.
No, fair enough. And it's just, it limits. Oh, Mariota with a huge run. Good 50-yard run. Mariota's back in the game. Good for him. Like I said, I don't mind playing defensive players against a Stafford, like IDP. I rather do that than comparatively to the defense. It kills your particular situation. Like a 60-yard touchdown is usually 12 points in 6 point. It brings it back down.
Yep.
To 9 points, which
are you really going to cry about that?
Well, and if he goes up to 30 something, which I'm not saying that it could happen, that goes into the negative. So for me, it like I said, it's just it's counterproductive to what you're trying to do. I rather play the Cowboys, who are it's a decent matchup for them to do well. They're getting Overshown back. They're getting a few other players as well. It's just, that's my thought process.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah. Roster says it's a guillotine. It's just called chopped on Sleeper. Okay.
Yeah, I never knew Sleeper changed the name of guillotine to just chopped, which okay.
Thomas D goes, I know, I hear it. No hard feelings, tough call. Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing. You guys are always going to be coming to us with the toughest calls that, you can look at everybody's rankings everywhere out there in the world. They're all going to be within like 1 or 2 or 3, and no one wants to be a ranking slave. You all want to be able to, be that person to make your own decision with that. It's always a very, I always go back to the league and watching Kevin make the call to John Hammond or John Hansen, and and him basically being like, why the hell did you listen to me? At the end of the day, you guys got to make that and then live with that decision. It hurts. We deal with it on a daily basis. I can't tell you how many situations where I've been, I've talked to 100 people and asked them, hey, what do you do? Basically polling like Andre and trying to get the right, scenario in. And then all of a sudden I put that guy in and I'm like, God damn it, why did I listen to you? Like, always better to blame somebody else sometimes.
There are always things that are just flat out things that you just can't predict.
Yeah.
Like if somebody doesn't do as well because they get hurt, well, you can't predict injuries. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. That's the game. That's the risk we take in this game.
Yeah, and that's always the hard part. And I always sit there and when I'm watching the game, and if both guys are healthy at the end of it, and I see one guy do a little bit better than the other, and I'm sitting there like, God damn, I was thinking of this and I didn't do that. I should have did this. It's just a learning curve. There's a lot of things that tend to happen, and we're not always right, and neither are a lot of other experts as well. I remember one year, I'll never forget this. I was going in on the train. I'm listening to the fantasy footballers, and I'm trying to remember the guy's name off the top of my head. It was a Seahawk playing Seahawk that went to the Jets, and I'm trying to remember who it was offhand. It was a really wide receiver Jets. Oh God, it's killing me. And I remember Andy going, "Oh, this is gonna be a great game for whoever it is. He's gonna do so well." I really think he has a big opportunity here. I forgot who it is. God, it's gonna kill me. And I think it's number 15 or something like that. I remember the number. But I remember going, oh, this is a great play. Goose egg. Like,
Yep.
you can't predict those things. It just happens.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So,
All
Mike,
right.
as we are coming up on 1 hour, do you have any other announcements to wrap us up or sponsors or anything like that?
I do. So make sure, for those that are watching, please make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you guys are using the promo code Get Right, and they will make this. I always forget. They always do the play for 5, get 100. So make sure you guys are using that promo code Get Right, and you will be able to get this particular bonus, which is fantastic. Also, make sure you guys are checking out our affiliate podcast with Phil Ruskin at the Extra Point and Kendall at the Fantasy Football Tavern. We'll keep you up to date on Baby Watch. Haven't heard anything right now, but as of from what we know, if anything, we'll know by Monday.
No news is good news, it sounds like.
At this point, yeah. It's always no news is good news. So we will wait and see on that. But good luck to the VanDerBilt family with everything going on with that. Hope healthy and happy at the end of everything. So hopefully that all works out in the end. Also, make sure you guys, it's getting to that end. Unfortunately, we're past halfway through the season. We're getting to a point where teams are going to be, or leagues are going to be looking for things like trophies. Make sure you guys check out TrophySmack.com. You got things right here, like the trophy, you got the belt, you got the ring, you got the good old Kirk Cousins chain, and as I say all the time,
I see.
oh, I love it. And then they also have the helmet. Like I said, I usually talk about it every week. That helmet is really nice, a little expensive, but nice, and really worth it. For now. We got 2 more questions that popped in. We're going to try to get to those real quick.
Let's do it.
Might be quicker than normal. Sean, what's going on, brother? He goes, well, we're going to go Nino first because he got in front of you. Nino Pina, what's going on? He goes, start 1 wide receiver and 2 flex. Tez, Jacoby, Tyler Algier, Harvey, and Hunt.
So for your wide receiver, Jacoby, flex, you should go Tez and... who do you? Yeah, I think I'll go Harvey as well. I think he's going to get more volume than Hunt. I mean, if Hunt falls in the end zone, cool, but I think Harvey by volume is going to be more reliable than Hunt.
I agree. Let me just look at who are they facing? Ooh, Panthers.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go Tez, Jacoby, and Harvey. Just more usage, more volume for all of them. Sean goes pick 2, full PPR. All righty. He goes Jennings, Washington Cup, Watson.
So Jennings and Watson. I got a feeling this is going to be a Watson game. I don't want to trust Washington. Well, wait a minute. Are we talking Malik Washington?
No.
I was going to say, he's already playing. Parker Washington. I mean, I'm not going to pick him and watch. He'll probably go off, but I think I'm going to go Watson and Jennings here.
I'm going to go Washington here. I feel a little differently about it. I think he has a good chance to do well here. Then it's a real tough one. I think I'm going to go Watson just because they really don't have much much. Giants are going to be it's going to be a shit show. I'm going to my cousin's house. We're just going to be disappointed the whole time. So should be fun. Dr. Clutch goes, yo, another Giants fan. I love it. He is Calvin Austin or Dalton Schultz in the flex spot. Dalton Schultz. Yeah, it's Dalton Schultz. If he's playing.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, no. They always have more. Always. I tell you all, I'm telling you, man, right before I leave, I always get about 100 of them, and I love it. We got running backs. 1 running back, 2 wide receiver, and a flex. Rico, Javante, Ladd, Nico, and Rome.
Let's go Rico for the running back, and then for 2 wide receivers, let's go Nico and Rome. Yep. And for the flex spot, I think we can do. We could definitely do Javante.
Yeah.
So we're talking 4 out of 5.
Right.
Who did I not pick?
Ladd McConkey.
Ladd McConkey. That's right. Yeah, I don't know if I can trust Ladd today against a. He'll get his catches too, but I think the other options are more exciting.
Agreed, and it's just a better matchup overall. You know, I like Javonte running the ball. They've been doing real well. It gives you that Monday night help as well. That I always like. So Javonte, Rico, Nico, and Rome are the choices for you there, Dr. Clutch. All righty, boys and girls. I think me and Evan are going to be wrapping this up. I got places to be and things to do. I hope everyone has a wonderful week 11. Evan, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate you. You're going to be seeing Evan a little bit more on Sundays as well. Every other Sunday, he'll be here to help us out. So make sure you guys check that out, as well as checking us out every Friday night. Really excited to have Evan moving forward. So this should be really fun. Really appreciate Evan being a part of the team. It's been really great in general. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. Hope everyone has a good week 11. We will see you guys next time. Frank will be here tomorrow, so check out Frank for the Waiver Wire show. See you guys later. Peace.